This is the 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 Denali Ultimate, and in today's Vehicle Visionary video, I'm going to tell you what you get for a sticker price of $85,905. Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. We're at Mike Morgan Buick GMC in Shreveport, Louisiana today to go over the particulars on this Onyx Black with an Alpine Umber interior GMC Denali Ultimate and give you at least the high points, and there's a lot of them. If you want to know more, check out the link down in the description of the video. And first off, let's take a look at the remote. You're going to have the GMC logo on the back. You're going to have lock, unlock, remote start. You can open your power tailgate, and you'll have the panic button right there. To use remote start, I'm going to do this just so you can see this. You hit the unlock button. It doesn't matter if it's locked or unlocked. I did that just to show you. We're just going to do this and the truck will start. So you don't have to hit the lock button to have the truck locked before it will start, and then we just hold the button down and it shuts back off. Now we're going to have our animated LED lighting with the exterior LED daytime running lights, our LED headlights. You will also find the LED fog lights down there on the lower portion of the bumper, and a combination of some different finishes here. A little bit of chrome, but not too much for those of you who are not big fans of chrome. And we'll find our front camera right here. That's your front camera washer. And if you're wondering about that, every time you run the windshield washer fluid, it will spray the windshield washer fluid across the front camera. 22-inch wheels, with the exception of the 17-inch wheel that will work as your spare tire located underneath the bed of the truck. This truck is four-wheel drive, and we'll find chrome mirror caps. These mirrors have a lot of functionality. They're heated, they're power adjustable, blind spot monitoring is built in right there, and they're also going to be power folding. I'm going to push the button right here to fold those in. Now you can actually go in to the infotainment screen, your center screen, and turn on a setting that allows those to fold and unfold when you lock and unlock the truck, if that's something you're looking for. And we're going to find a lot of exterior lighting. You can see the LED lighting right there on the outside of the rear view mirrors. We'll also find in-bed LED lighting. Now in this particular case, as opposed to having it in the corner where it is often, it's going to be in this area right above the fender well. Still going to do a very nice job of lighting the interior of the bed. I don't think you can see it, but the cab light is on, and we'll also have the light here on the rear that will help with hitching up to a trailer or unhitching your trailer. The button that we have here on the chrome door handle, at least on the front doors, that is your passive entry. You can lock and unlock all four doors right there. It doesn't have it on the rear. That should be standard equipment in my opinion. You will also find your power assist steps. When you open the doors, those are going to come out automatically. Now you can go again into your center screen, into your settings, and set those to stay deployed when the truck is in park. They will not stay deployed when the truck goes into drive. Even when you kick the button right here on the rear, that allows them to come back and be used as a bed step. No matter what, when you get in the truck and put it into drive, they're going back under the truck into that position where they are when the doors are closed. So for those of you that may want to know about that, that is the situation. We just kick the button right there to make that action happen. And we finish things off here with the LED tail lights. That we will also find the bumper steps back here that make it easy to gain access to the rear of the bed without having to jump all the way inside. But one thing about this tailgate, if you go with the Multipro tailgate that this truck has, it only has the power down function. And let me show you what I'm talking about with the remote. When you hit the button on the remote 2 times, it will open the tailgate, but you can hold the button down. You can hit it 2 times, you can do whatever you want to. It doesn't come back up. If you want that feature, you will have to have the conventional style tailgate that allows it to power down and power up. For those who have not seen the Multipro tailgate, let me show you what this is. So we're going to do this. You can use this area as a table. You can flip this area up. I just push the button right there to do that. You can use that as a bed extender if you want to. That's not its primary purpose, but it is one of the features that it has. You can also drop that area down when the tailgate is down in the conventional position, and that makes it a lot easier to gain access to the rear of the bed right here. You can gain access to your 120-volt power outlet right there if you want to, or your tie downs here in the rear. Now you have a total of 12 tie downs, 3 in the front, 3 in the rear. You have your spray-in bed liner. One thing that I've noticed I haven't seen on any 2026 Sierras so far is that there is no longer a grab handle to put in place right here. Kind of interesting. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Maybe there's no big deal to that. I'm not sure if the dealerships just haven't installed them or what is going on. Now, I am going to do one more thing here and show you bed extender number 2, which is obviously this way. That makes it very easy. And you can also see the kicker audio system here. You can adjust your audio and what you're listening to, or should I say volume and what you're listening to. And you have an area to plug in right here if you need to, depending on what you want to listen off of. But a very nice system. And the main function of this area is to use that as a step to get in and out of the bed. Now on my 2500, my Sierra 2500, I do like the fact it's a 24 model that I have the grab handle right here. That truck sits a little bit higher off the ground than this one. To get in and out of this one without the grab handle is actually not a problem. This truck has a max payload of 1,429 pounds and a max towing capacity of 8,700 pounds. Under the hood of this truck, this is not the only engine option available, but this is the 3-liter Duramax Diesel that makes 305 horsepower and 495 pounds-feet of torque, mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. You will find a 24-gallon fuel tank, and how about your MPGs? According to the sticker, you could get 22 city, 26 highway, 24 combined, and 4.2 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. If you own a truck like this with this same engine under the hood, tell us down in the comments section what your MPGs are on average. And let's take a look at the Alpine Umber interior. Tons of room with the armrest, nice materials throughout, nice and comfortable. Got the baseball stitching here, and then our contrast stitching, the piping right there. And we'll find the nice large door bin. And underneath the seat, we can move both seat cushions up and out of the way like this. You have the tools to change your tire. There is your block heater. So if you need to plug that in, let me show you where that goes in case you're wondering. For those of you that live in a cold enough climate where you need to do that regularly, it's actually located right here on the front end. So there it is right there. I'm used to it being right down here on my truck, so I want to make sure I don't accidentally go there and show you the wrong place. But that's what you're going to have where that's concerned. It comes with all of these trucks that have that Duramax Diesel under the hood. We're going to have our seat pockets for storage on the back of both seats, but on the back of these seats, the seat in-seat storage on the seat backs here in the back seat, plenty of space right there on both sides. Tons of room. I really like that. Not only tons of room for storage, but tons of room for your passengers, and nobody will go thirsty. I always laugh about how many cup holders there are in these trucks. We have the 2 in the front, 2 right here, and then you have 1 in each door bin in the rear seating area, and 2 more in the fold-down armrest. Talk about options galore. And tons of space. I'm telling you what, I love how spacious this cab is. There is no shortage of space. There is a conventional size sunroof. Hopefully in the future, because of, I know a lot of you asking about this, we will see a panoramic sunroof. Tell me what your thoughts are and how important that is to you. And when you hop into the truck, you will see the animated graphics. Just going to show you what all is here, but here they are. So the graphics start on the driver's display and work their way over to the center screen. You can see what's going on. It's part of what you're paying for. I might as well go ahead and show you what all is here. We will find very comfortable seating for the driver and the passenger. Heated and ventilated seats. These are also massage seats. So a little bit of everything is here. Depending on what it is you want, you can take care of everything. Now, we'll have the upper glove box right here and the lower glove box right down here. So plenty of storage throughout the interior. One thing I do think should be here that is not. You have the seat memory right here for the driver's side. At the price point of this truck, how hard would it be to add that over there to the passenger side? Just my thoughts on the matter. And here we have the controls for not only our power sliding rear window, but the functionality for the sunroof, which is right here. Obviously, you can tilt and slide that open. And your home link, 3 buttons for that. There's our digital rear view mirror that is adjustable. You've got a button right here. You can adjust everything over here on the right hand side. You push that button, you can change brightness, position, you can zoom in, whatever you need to do, you can do that. You can change it to your liking. And over here on the driver's side door, You've already seen some of the controls for the window or the mirrors, and here's everything for the windows and your door locks. There's your power parking brake, everything for your four-wheel drive, depending on what you need to do there, and then your drive mode selector. Let's go through those driving modes because I know you like to know what those are. So we're going to start with normal, and we have sport and off-road. Quite a bit going on there. We have everything for our lighting controls right here. You have your power adjustable steering wheel. And this, although I didn't show it earlier, you might have seen it when I started the truck. I'm not sure if you saw the indicator come on, but you have Super Cruise. That's semi-autonomous driving. That's what this button is for right here. Now, one thing that changed a couple of years ago, you might not have looked at one of these trucks in a while. If you haven't, it was at one point that if you had Super Cruise, you lost your heated steering wheel, but that's no longer a problem, and it hasn't been for a couple of years now. There is your heated steering wheel button. Just move down here below the controls for your heated and ventilated seats. So you've got all that, comfortable steering wheel, everything here for going through and managing the driver's display. I'm just arrowing over right here, and then I can use the scroll wheel to go down and select whatever I need to. But you can change everything here. You can go back and reset if you need to, depending on what you need to do. You can go in and manage the head-up display. There's some things you can do there, but you also have your controls right here for the head-up display. I don't know how well you can see it on the screen, but it is there. But you also have some presets right here as far as the display layout goes. So you have classic, you have progressive. We'll go in and look at a couple of these. There is digital. That's going to be our digital. If you want clean, you can do that. So depending on what you like to see, you can make changes to that. And there's just a lot going on here that makes this very easy to deal with. You will find the shifter paddles on the back of the steering wheel, and you will find your volume control on this side. Over on the other side, you can go through whatever you want to listen to and change that, whether it's on the radio or on YouTube, like I like to do through Apple CarPlay. You have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay where you can pair your smartphone. And to listen to the radio, let me do this just so you can see this. I know a lot of people ask me about this, so I like to show this in the video. You're going to come select right here to go to your AM stations, and then the screen will let you or allow you to go through and change whatever you need to station-wise, or you can use the steering wheel. But you can see what all is here as far as those controls go. And then you have Google Assistant. You can ask all kinds of questions. You can use voice commands to set up your navigation. You do have built-in navigation. We also have a ton of camera views all over the truck. You've got that overhead view. There's your rear view, your front view. And if the front view camera is dirty, run the button or hit the button to run the windshield washer fluid. It will automatically spray your windshield washer fluid across the front camera, as I mentioned earlier in the video. There's our overhead views. You have a couple of views for most camera angles, depending on what you need to see. Now, there is the view for hitching up to a trailer if you want to, as far as using the bumper. And then you can also take a look at what's going on in the bed if you need to. So a pretty simple system to learn and use. And a lot of people ask me about safety features. So let's run through those real fast. We'll go through a couple of little things here. You can go into vehicle, and then we're going to go to our collision and detection systems, which are going to be right here. Get that to come up for us. Alert type, automatic emergency braking, front pedestrian braking, adaptive cruise go notifier, lane change alert, park assist tow bar, rear cross traffic alert, and rear pedestrian alert. And you can turn these off and on or change the alert type in a couple of different ways. So we're going to go in here and I'll show you. So the alert and brake, that means the safety alert seat will vibrate in the appropriate area on whichever side of the vehicle the alert is on or coming from, or you can turn that to alert only, or you can turn it to off. And for those who wanted to know, there that is. Pretty simple to deal with if you want to turn on that power folding mirror feature I mentioned to you earlier in the video. That is found under comfort and convenience. And it's right here, remote mirror folding. All you have to do is go right there and turn that check mark on, that green check mark. You can also come in here and turn it on and off right there if you want to. And you can see a couple of other things here. Reverse mirror tilt, you've got your rain sensing wipers, and your chime volume. If that's too loud or too quiet, you can come in here to adjust that. You can wirelessly pair your smartphone. All of those great features are here. Now, one thing that a lot of people ask me about, can you get rid of what's over here, whether it's the clock or whatever you have? No, you can't. Unfortunately not. So you're going to have to make do with this area being what you have available as far as your icons go on the screen. Here's the button to start the engine and to shut it back down. You've got your dual zone climate control and everything to go with that. And then you have your lane keeping assist right here if you want to turn that on or off. You can see what all is here. There is the auto stop start button. If you need to turn that off or on, you can do all of that. And we have some storage space right here. Here's your shifter, your trailer brake, your control for the trailer brake, and your cup holders. Now, plenty of room with the center console lid used as an armrest, and you also have the removable tray right here. Something I do like to point out on these trucks, especially since I've received some interesting comments about this when I talk about the fact that there is not a 12-volt power outlet anywhere in the interior of these trucks, at least as of the 2022 model year. There is a 120-volt power outlet. A lot of people will tell me that's where the 12-volt is located. It is not. There's your wireless charging pad. There's USB connectivity. I don't really think that it's a good idea to not have the 12 volts in these vehicles, because I know for me in my GMC 2500, I need that to run my dash cam. You can buy a USB to 12 volt adapter if that's something you need. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, the controls for the massage seats are located on the side of the seat where the controls are for ultimately changing the position of the seat and setting all of that. But you can see what you have as far as this goes. And the thing that I like about it with the massage seats is that it's not just some minor little thing. You really know you're getting a massage. It does a nice job. All right, here we go on our test drive with this Denali Ultimate. A very enjoyable truck to drive. It does have the Denali Ultimate Premium suspension, and so you're going to have a little bit better ride quality with this truck than you might otherwise. It actually rides very well for being a 1500 series truck. And something you might notice, I get a lot of comments and questions over these videos, and I have for several years, people asking, how do you make the cameras stay on? Well, there was a time when the technology didn't allow for that. Now you just turn it on when you're in drive and it'll stay on. Now, I obviously wouldn't recommend focusing on that screen when you're driving, but I'm sure that there could be some potential advantages to that depending on what your driving situation with, or you're dealing with as far as your driving goes. But most likely that's going to be more useful at really low speeds. Although I'm curious to know, I've had people ask about that and never tell me why they want to do that, but that is the situation. This is a very versatile truck in a multitude of ways, being that it is four-wheel drive, and that will allow for helping you out in those low traction situations and being able to deal with that. Now, let's see if we can make this turn here real quick. Let's see, can I make it? Yeah, I made it without hitting the curb. There we go. Just barely, but I did make it. And we'll step on the pedal a little bit. Not too hard, because one of you may be coming in to buy this truck. Now, as far as Super Cruise goes, typically you have to be out on an interstate highway for that to function. If you go to turn it on, it's going to tell you on the driver's display what you might need to do if you aren't in the right place to do it, or if you need to turn adaptive cruise control on. I've seen that message come up before, but overall it's very easy to use. And the technology as a whole is easy to use here. A very, very nice system to learn. A lot of people might say, I'll never use everything that's there, but you might be surprised at how much you do use. The gas pedal and brake pedal, very easy to manage. That's always a good thing. The seats are very comfortable. A lot of adjustability built in here into the driver's seat and the steering wheel. So everybody who's driving the truck should have no problem, no matter their height, setting things up to where they're nice and comfortable and able to enjoy driving. But overall, while the price tag on this truck is pretty high, it definitely offers a lot of features for the money. And there it is, the 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 Denali Ultimate, and the high points, quite a few of them, as to what you get for a sticker price of $85,905. Tell me what you think down in the comment section, and tell me if this is a truck you plan to buy for the 2026 model year. I'd like to say a special thanks to my friends at Mike Morgan Buick GMC for loaning me this truck for the day so I can tell you all about it. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. That's very helpful to me. Please be sure to subscribe and share this video on your timelines on social media so other people can see it. If you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.